person with whom you were working or you communicating with really wants, what are the needs of this person or organization, what they would like to achieve. And the other thing which is very important is the values that you would like to convey when communicating with stakeholders. So there are 4 basic elements of this model: target, value, response, and channel. Target and channel is quite easy, right? But always remember that target you have to know something about the person, organization with whom you communicate. You have to know whom you are talking to. It's not always easy because you don't always know what the intentions or the expected results of these organizations are when you're approaching them in cross-border cooperation. But you can try to figure it out. Do your research for that. And something that is very important, and I will talk about it later on in my presentation, is the values. The values will give you an ability to actually go into the mindset of the person, organization with whom you are working. The values you carry with yourself, and your organization should have them. You need to know and understand what values bring you to the table, what values you would like to promote when working with the other side and other partners. That will make your life, your work, easier, especially when you find out that the values are similar and that you share them. So always remember in communication that the values are very important. So the message cannot be without them. So if you would like to have a project, for example, on water treatment plants, wetlands, those natural ones that there is an idea for one of the projects, please remember why you would like to have them, right? Just to build them, because it's like important? No, what values are there behind? And if you say about those values, it would be very much easier for you to get the actual cooperation going. Because what people do in common, have in common, that propels them to work together. The response, what is also important in this model, is that you have to, once again, get into the mindset of the organization and the people and try to understand what they would like to hear from you. This is important. You will not be very successful in communicating when you don't know what the outcomes, the results, the goals of the organizations are. So always try to keep that in mind when dealing with the communications issues. Try to remember that we are trying to use this model in ERB cooperation at the moment, and it's not easy actually. The values, you can communicate those values, but it's not always easy to get them across to the others, right? What is the value of cross-border cooperation? What values are there behind us promoting people-to-people contacts over the border? We can understand that, it's very obvious for us, but then the challenge is to bring that across to those who are not convinced, to those who don't know, to those who do it differently, for example. And the channels can be different, right? Old channels, communication channels, new ones, etc. There are social media, which I know are very, very popular in Sweden, for example, among politicians. In our environment, in Eugene Baltic, they use it a lot. They use it every day. Not so maybe in Poland, but it's changing, right? There are other media that we don't know about yet. And you always have to know which channel is the most relevant for your communication with the partner. Is it email? Is it a face-to-face meeting like this one? My experience is, if you would like to have a very successful communication and meaningful and like bringing some concrete results, it's best to have a face-to-face meeting in the end, once or twice, especially when you are developing a project. There cannot be, in my opinion, a very good successful project if you do not meet face-to-face at least once. Always try to remember that. Okay, we have 10 minutes. So why we are doing that in Eurasia Baltic? We are project-based organization. We are working with a lot of stakeholders across the different levels of governance, starting with municipalities, NGOs, going up to regions and states, and international organizations. We are working on projects that here you have a list of indicative projects that we are running. This is only for the ERB Secretariat. The association has its own set of projects that they are running. How to manage all that? How to make this project stuff work? How to get us from this situation where we are talking about things we don't understand and we have an idea but we don't know how to work that, to a situation where it smoothly runs to its successful completion. And there are several ideas that we are trying to pursue here in Baltic for that. We come back to the value in communication. Here is the Golden Circle model, very useful, by Simon Sinek, which tells us basically that when we would like to do something, we always have to know why we do it. No, it's not very useful to know what we are doing if we don't know why. What is the story behind our organization, our endeavor, our project? Why is it so that we or you have met today? Over the last 2 days, you have meetings today. Why? Why are you doing this? What is the most important objective of those meetings? This value-based objective. It's not like you would like to have a meeting, but the meeting has to have a purpose. And when you understand that, I hope you do, I'm sure most of you do, then the way you work will change. You will see the bigger picture of your cooperation. And that is true for every kind of work you do. In your organizations, in your municipalities, but in your cross-border cooperation networks. I think it's even more important because those networks, those projects that you run are a bit different from very strict and very stable organizations that you are part of in your daily work. So they need to have this background of why, the understanding of why. And then comes the way how to work, right? How to actually implement those ideas, right? These are projects that you do. They are tools, right? And what these are activities that you implement in your projects. So, very useful model that we are using in our organization to communicate and to work with the different things on cross-border level. But always remember the thing that is most important. I think, I don't know if Gosia will agree with me, but it is all about people. The people make it work. The people propel the organization. They build trust over the years of their work, and with that, they are able to deliver results. If you would like to have successful cooperation, you need to have people that will deliver that. And for that, you need to not only knowledge and expertise and education, but you need a certain type of skills that allow the structures to grow, to actually deliver results. And that you do through trust building, informative knowledge, the trust among the employees, your teams, and so on. There are different models for that, of course. I will not get into that. But just trying to be a good leader, meaning that be true to your colleagues, to your team in the project, to your partnership. Try to get to know them, try to get to understand their needs, and try to get to understand their challenges and problems. That is always something that works and will help you to actually go through project development or partnership development for that matter. And the tools, basic tools. Well, we are using Asana, for example, at Eurasia Baltic now, because we have a lot of work and it's very difficult to maintain the workflow with so many projects and ideas and commitments that we have. So we are trying to be modern. And don't be afraid of using those tools because they are can be very effective here. Like Asana, here you have one of the tasks that I've developed, like presentation for today in Kristianstad, and I have many other commitments. As you can see, some of them are delayed, unfortunately. But there are other colleagues on the team working with us. We have projects, we have different projects to work with here, and this allows you to actually be more effective. Email is one of the tools that you're using, but email communication and work has its limits. You can only email a certain number of people in a day meaningfully. While in tools like this, you can actually have more focused, more effective kind of communication when you would like to get things done. So you can venture and try to find out, but we would recommend that, but others using different tools, I know in Denmark and in other countries. Just to finalize things, what Euroregion Baltic has been always meant to do was to help stakeholders like you, like NGOs, municipalities, local actors, to get into the cross-border cooperation. And I'm happy to say that in the South Baltic program, there will be one more project designed to do just that, which will be solely focusing on building capacities, general capacities of actors, local actors, to build and develop cross-border cooperation. The umbrella project. It has been approved at the recent MC meeting, and over the course of 2.5 years, it will deliver activities to you, to your stakeholders, designed to boost the knowledge, skills, and capacities of cross-border cooperation. So